Hi everyone, welcome back to class. In this video, I will tell you how to write a code in Java to determine whether a given number is prime or not. So at first let us know what is a prime number. So suppose if you consider a number that is number is equals to 2. So if this number is having the two factors, then the number is said to be prime number. I mean, suppose if you consider this number as 2 and if you divide it with 1, then it gives us a remainder 0, right? And if you divide this same number with 2, it gives the remainder as 0. And if you divide the same number with 3, it will not give the remainder as 0. Instead, it gives 2. So, the number which gives remainder as 0. So, whenever this number is dividing with any other numbers, that remainder should be 0. And two numbers should be give the remainder as 0. So, here 1 and 2 are giving the remainder as 0. So, here the number 2 is having two factors 1 and 2, because when we divide this number 2 with 1 and 2, it is giving remainder as 0. So, the number which is having two factors here for 2, 1 and 2 are the two factors for the number 2. So, the number which is having two factors is known as prime number. So, here 2 is the prime number as it is giving the two factors. So, suppose if you consider number, let the number be 4, and if you try to divide it with 4 divided by 1, it gives the remainder 0. And if you divide 4 with 2, it gives the remainder 0. And if you divide it with 3, it gives the remainder 1. And if you divide it with 4, it gives the remainder 0. But you can see here 1, 2 and 4. These three numbers are giving the remainder when dividing with 4, remainder as 0, right? But here we have three numbers giving the remainder 0. But what is a prime number? A prime number is a number which is having only two factors. So here for the number 2, 1 and 2 are the factors as they are giving the remainder 0. But when we talk about the 4 number, here three numbers 1, 2, 4. Three numbers are giving remainder 0. So we say 4 number is not a prime number, but 2 is a prime number. So this way we can consider the number which is giving two factors is said to be a prime number. Now let us try to write a code in Java that determines the number is a prime or not. So at first, inside the main method, we need to declare a variable of type int number is equals to, let us say number is 2. Okay, now we need to divide this particular number 2 with numbers 1 to so on. So whenever this particular number 2 is dividing with 1 to so on, then it should give remainder as 0. But there should be only two numbers that gives the remainder as 0. Then we say the number 2 is prime number. And let us consider a variable int count is equals to 0, because whenever this particular number 2 is dividing with 1, then it gives the remainder 0. So at that time we need to increment the count with 1. So count becomes 1. And then the 2 number divisible by 2, then it gives the remainder 0. Then count should be become incremented, that is 1 plus 1 2. So whenever the count becomes 2, then the number is said to be prime. So let us consider, here we have declared int number equals to int count equal to 0. Now take for loop for int I equals to 1, because we are dividing this particular number 2 with 1 and so on. I less than or equals to, let us say 100. Normally we take here the number that is 2. Then here I plus. Okay, inside the for loop we need to take if number modulus I is equals to 0. Then inside the if block we need to take count plus, which means count equal to count plus 1. And then here we need to take if count is equals to 2, Then we need to print system.out.print even, or else we need to print system.out.println odd. So this is how we need to write the code in Java. So let us see how it works. So at first we have taken number equals to and count equals to 0. So int I equals to 1, 1 less than or equals to 100, condition is true. So it enters into the for loop. So here number modulus I, modulus division gives remainder, right? So number is 2, modulus I means 1, 1. So 2 modulus 1 means 0. So here the condition becomes satisfied. So it enters into the if block. So count becomes, initially count is 0. Now count plus means count equals to count plus 1, that is 0 plus 1. So here count becomes 1. And then again here I get incremented. So initially I is 1. Now I becomes 2. Again it checks for the condition. 2 less than or equals to 100. Condition is true. So again here it enters into the for loop. So here number is 2. 2 modulus 2, that is 2 modulus 2. It gives the remainder as 0. So here condition got satisfied. Again it entered into the if block. So count get incremented. Now initially count is 1. Now count becomes 1 plus 1, that is count becomes 2 now. Again I get incremented. Now I becomes 3. 3 less than or equals to 100. Condition is true. It enters into the for loop. Number modulus I. Number is 2. 2 modulus 3. It gives a remainder 2 but not 0. So it will not enter into the if block. Instead it comes out of it. And then again I get incremented. So I becomes 4. 4 less than or equals to 100. Condition true. Enters into the for loop. Number modulus I. Number is 2. I is 4. That is 2 modulus 4. But it gives a remainder 2. So as long as the value of I is from 3 to 100, it will not give the remainder as 0. So count will be only the 2. So again, so till 100 it will not give the remainder 0. So after 100, whenever the I value get 101, it comes, the condition gets false here. So it comes out of for block. And then here count, if count equals to 2. So we got count equals to 2. 2 equals to 2. Condition is true. So it enters into the if block and gives the output as even. So this is how we need to write the code in Java to determine a number is a prime or not. So thanks for watching the video. Do like, share and subscribe the channel.